somebody that shares your skin complexion. Me and Dale gonna dive deep into his long lost cousin. She might be lighter than you. She, you're right. She's the only one on the planet that's lighter than you. Listen, man, we gonna dive deep into Jada Pinkett. In case y'all haven't heard, man, she been back in the news because, she be bored
for this shit,
and she like being in the news. She is recently on a hype because she's releasing her book. So she's been on a book tour, and during the book tour, during the interview, she disclosed that she's been separated from Will for 7 years. Mm-hmm. She also disclosed that Tupac is her soulmate, as we keep hearing about. She also disclosed that Chris Rock asked her to go out on a date when he was under the impression that they were divorced. And when she clarified that they weren't divorced, he apologized profusely. She also disclosed, allegedly, that when Will had slapped Chris, she thought it was a skit and didn't know what was going on. So me and Abel Time want to ask, is she scorned and doing this for revenge? Or is this just a bored, disrespectful woman? The reason why I provide both of these options is because we've all been in situations where, I want to say all, I don't know how old most of y'all is, but I would guess a lot of y'all are over 25. If this haven't happened to you yet, congratulations and keep a lookout. All of us have been in a situation where someone is so scorned that they seek revenge. They seek it, and you could tell, like, damn, you don't give a damn about me. Damn, like, you would light my cat on fire. Like, that type of revenge and scorn. There's also people that are just bored and disrespectful. Right. I had one of my friends tell me, when Yeezus first came out, he said, man, Kim K's box must be bad, because how in the hell did Kanye make this weak ass album? And now over the course of time, you see Kanye going to Wisconsin and hanging out and just chilling and not being around his wife and all this other stuff going on. And then after a while, they get divorced. You kind of look at it like, okay, I guess Kanye just got bored. Maybe he was just, that's what he thought he always wanted. And eventually he just didn't really want it anymore, right? So sometimes when people get bored, they get disrespectful.
Right.
And other times people are just scorned, they want revenge. And while we see these pictures of Jada over the course of the years, when we saw her back in the day in Low Down Dirty Shame when she was Peaches, he and Ivy Wayne's sidekick, all the way till now, she's developed this villain persona, if you will.
And aesthetically, like, she's starting to look like a villain aesthetically. Yeah.
It's like the second Batman movie with Christian Bale in it, Dark Knight, when you got the Mayor Harvey Dent, and he's the American boy, and the blonde hair, and it's the villain they always needed, and he's wearing all white, and have his face get blown off, then he's evil. Yeah. That's almost the development, the evolution, if you will, that we've watched with Jada Pinkett. So Dale, I asked you, is this woman scorned, Dale, or is she just bored and disrespectful?
I think I'm going to go towards bored and disrespectful, but I don't really want to use, I'm going to take out bored for a second. And I'm going to focus on the disrespectful part, but mainly because I feel like this is a strategic way to ensure that her book gets the right publicity. I felt like when it comes to celebrities and whenever they want to roll out bad news, they do it in a very orchestrated way. They orchestrate this very well. Like, you know what I'm saying? You start off with throwing out little small things that have already been trending around, right? So this way, people get attached like, oh man, like Jada back. You know what I mean? Because, okay, you went from talking about having a entanglement with August Alsina. Then you back in the news because, you've been in the news so much forever since Pac passed about your love for Pac and how much love you have for Pac and how, the soulmate thing, it almost doesn't even sound like they were putting it in. Jada's soulmate is Tupac. Like, they're putting that in, but people are, we already knew that, bro. Like, You know what I mean? Like, this is already known shit, but it's like we feed you again because we want to keep that going. We want to keep you into that. So then eventually you'll read the book and want to hear about Jada's love story and how Tupac proposed to her when he was on Riker Island. Like, now you want to hear all of these particular key points because you want to know the story. And now this is the world of gossip. If it was all good news, like our marriage is going so great, everything is going so great, right? Nobody want to hear that shit because
we did want to hear about that, Dale. That's how everybody knows who they are.
You did, but I feel like even now, especially now, like 2023 and like 2022, since 2020, motherfuckers is in love with toxicity. Like, they want the toxic shit. You look at these power couples that we've seen recently. Not to say that we don't know their insight or what's going on in the relationship, but you look at Iman Shumpert and Tina Taylor, right? Getting ready. We've been divorced. You feel me? You hear about Remy Ma and Papoose. You know what I'm saying? They on freaking stages where Remy Ma might be cheating with the fucking with the rapper that she manages or that she has in her group or whatever, not in her group, and I'm sorry, in her league. And then you look at Jeezy and his girl. You feel me? They going through it. You know what I'm saying? You got so many different levels of going through it. People want more of that. So, like, in a way, I feel like, as we named it so well, Jada the villain, she looking at it like, nah, none of these relationships should outweigh the gossip that's going on in my relationship. None of that should go on. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and bring out some more news that y'all didn't know. Let me share all the tea. You know what I'm saying? Let me give y'all more tea. And then I'm going to make a memoirs book so y'all can read up on it. And it's just all in the pudding. I can tell you how much I love Pac since he ain't here to defend none of the shit that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? Well, all I know, Pac could have been like, yo, she was just some chick out fucking Baltimore. And after that, it was good. You feel me? Never really looked back at her. You know what I'm saying? Like, kept her in the clutch in case I needed it, but never really thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We only hearing it really one-sided. I'm not saying that her side isn't true, but I'm saying we only expect that because she's an attractive woman, but we don't even know if Pac really was into her like that. For all we know, Pac, he might have got some bitches who just really silent, don't even say nothing. Like, yo, he was doing the same shit with me, but I just never said nothing because I didn't think people cared. You know what I'm saying? But her, like, people care so much because she's with another superstar that's the total opposite of the man that she's talking about her love for. You feel me? And then I go into her even mentioning to the point where it's like, even to throw the fire back at Chris Rock, right? Like, well, he tried to get at me. Now it's like, so now you got people speculating like, well, maybe that's why Will slapped her. That's why Will slapped him. I'm sorry. That's why Will slapped him because, like, reality is like, maybe he wanted to get her back and prove that he is Pac. Like he would do something that Pac would do. You know what I mean? And then it's like, maybe, you know, like, we don't know. So it's just like to keep the fuel going, to keep their relationship in talks in the media. Because if not, it really, you're going to hear more about Will Smith than you would hear about Jada if it was just normal circumstances, because Will would continue to do movies. But now to the point where this Oscar shit done like even put a hurdle in him getting the acceptance in movie roles that he probably should get. You feel me? Now we're just only hearing about the toxicity in his relationship. So I feel like in reality, this is just a PR stunt to kind of continue to press her book, to continue to probably even press out even another red table show that she's going to eventually do, or some type of talk show. Because eventually what's going to end up happening is she's going to end up having her own talk show. Tell us about your, she's going to be on there like, tell us about your relationship and da-da-da-da-da. You know, I've went through stuff with my relationship and blah, 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 blah. Then we're going to be hearing that Will used to be him her up. Like, we're going to hear all type of shit. Like, he hit me up one time and I never thought, like, it's going to be some crazy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's the boredom, because I think she's far from bored. But I think it's like, I want to fuel this toxicity thoughts that y'all have about me.
You don't think she, okay, I understand moving this way because of the book tour.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that, scratch that, how much boredom do you think goes into having to write this book, though? Because to have to sit down and write these things, like, we got married in 97, but, you know, we haven't been together since 2016. And I was shocked when he called me his wife because we haven't been together since 2016. And we don't have a prenup, so we just stayed together. And when you say you don't have a prenup, now I understand why Will ain't going nowhere because, bro,
You must say half.
Bro, probably more than half. Like,
Right.
it's going to be crazy. Like, because his net worth increased so much while she's been around, and however that works out, might be some Anthony Anderson stuff. I give you this much bread, and like probably worse than Anthony Anderson. I give you $10 million a month or something crazy like that. So, how much do you think of Boredom went into creating this book? Because the book was obviously written like after the slap, and so, and for you to say like you thought the slap was a skit. You thought the slap was a skit, so you didn't know what was going on. Which at that point, it's like you take no responsibility for him reacting that way regarding the way that you felt. Not thinking. I haven't seen the whole excerpt from the book, but I thought it was a skit. So if you'd be like, I didn't even know what was going on. It's so like
it's wild.
Like it removes all responsibility and make you
all
be like
accountability.
Will was the only person in the whole room tripping.
Yeah. Y'all didn't see me roll my eyes. I wasn't, and then like you try to explain, but that wasn't even why I was rolling my eyes. Like, bro, stop. Like that's exactly why you was rolling your eyes. Because in reality now, even to the point now, even thinking more about it, he asked me out. Now he calling me G.I. Jane. Like now he's calling me G.I. Jane, like trying to make fun of me. Even if you took that as a joke, right? And took that as some kind of disrespect from Chris Rock. So in your mind, like, well, you weren't saying that when you was asking me out. You feel me? That type of shit, right? When you was all in my, when you was sliding through my DM, you went there and all that shit. So then it's like that's probably why you was rolling your eyes. So now Will thinking about that shit, like he did ask her out. Now he go slap her. He go slap Chris Rock. Let me answer your question first, because before I start getting into this whole hypothetical of what was going on in mindsets, I will say this. I don't. Maybe it ain't got nothing to do. I still don't think it's got nothing to do with boredom. What I think it is, what if she just wants to get out the relationship and this is her way of doing it? Like, more strategically, like, okay, if we keep this shit private, you feel me, and nobody knows that we are been separated, we continue to be in people's eyes no matter what goes on, like no matter what information comes out, it continues to look like you're still this like great husband. You feel me? You're still a great husband in the people's eyes, right? And then people just continue to make me the villain that I've finally become, right? But now, what if I just say, fuck it, I take all of this and I lash it all out. Now the public is looking at you like you're stupid. So we've already looked at him like, man, you stupid for being in this relationship for this long. But some people are looking at him like, nah, man, he's just a person really trying to take care of his family. They got kids together. They trying to do this. They trying to do it. Like
those kids are grown and rich.
They're grown. I know. But I'm saying like, I'm talking about those naysayers who had that kind of like appeal towards it, like, right? Yeah. So I'm saying like, those people are like, well, man, like, so even, and probably just for him, like, he grew up in a 2-parent household, Will Smith. So maybe he's like, man, we can't do this. Like, the Smiths don't do this. We got to stick it together no matter what goes on. We got to work through our relationship, right? Like, we got to keep going on. So now everything comes out. You write out a memoir book. You go out, you tell all of this shit. You say all of these things. You talk about Tupac being your soulmate in this book. Now you don't like all the speculation, you done actually confirmed it. You've confirmed all of the speculation. You're kind of leaving me with a choice to be like, well, bro, I might as well divorce you and just take whatever money it is, because now the humanity, like me as a person, I'm getting fucking tarnished. I'm getting bashed.
Let me tell you this. So no, I don't think this is her way of pushing him away, because apparently they wanted to get divorced at one point, like in the late, they wanted to get divorced in early 2000s, but then she decided she was going to keep trying or whatever, right? And they decided to just live separately since 2016. So this is what I think, Dale. I think that that goes back to that whole homage. You teach people how to treat you. And when you're out somewhere, say we all out or whatever, everybody's out, and you see a dude like talk this girl crazy, like not just in an assertive way, but just crazy. And in your mind, you'd be like, damn, that's wild he would talk to her like that out here in front of people. Or the inverse, you see a woman talk to a dude crazy, at like a party or whatever, he'd be like, yes, ma'am, like, and dip out. Now, this is happening in public to us, right?
Right.
But that's how their households ran.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just leaked out because that's just always what it's been.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, so there's like there's an interview with Will being super cool about, oh my God. And when she would talk about Tupac, I was like, that dude's so cool. I'm like jealous of this guy who's not even alive. Like, I can't believe I wish I was as cool as him. Like being okay with it. So for him to say that publicly, she had to have said it 1,000 times to him.
Yeah.
So for this book to come out, I was like, yeah, no, it's not disrespectful to him because he already know what's popping. He already know what's up. So to her, man. for her, it's not even like if there's such thing as past lives. I definitely think Pac and I traveled a few together in various forms. As she talked about her friendship, love, chemistry with her old high school friend, it was almost like God made us that way. It was like, look, we'll put y'all together. Y'all gonna be a dynamic duo, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna make it so y'all can't be able to get together because it just wasn't on purpose. Like God just made them to be together, but not forever. So so for her to put it in the book, and then Will's talked about it in interviews before, I don't even think she's trying to push away. And keep it real deal, you do make a good point on one end where for the naysayers, like, oh, well, they got this good relationship, so on and so forth. Your cousin, your mentor, your homeboy, J. Cole, has been quoted 1,000 times talking about that Will and Jada love. Mm-hmm. And I've been watching these other pods where people say we've been sold a bill of goods by a lot of our cultural Mount Rushmores, if you will. If we go further and further back, right? Whether it's like power couple this or Michael Jordan, such a nice person, that, and all these like things where like you have like whack ass hero worship. However, there's people that look at like divorce is divorce, right? Like we talked to one of our homeboys a couple of years ago. Me and you had to sit down with him and said something along the lines like, bro, if it's bad, it's bad. I'm sorry if this is your third divorce, but if it's not working out, your kids see it. It's bad. Nobody cares, nigga. And that homeboy eventually ended up like making the decision to move forward with his life. And God bless him. And I think this is a situation where someone's like, no, we're still gonna look good to everybody else. Like, nah, everybody knows it's bad. If it's bad, it's bad. But Dale, when it comes to that prenup and you worth like 700 million, and your lawyers are saying stuff like, yo, based on the mathematics and like what your net worth was when you met her, and then what your net worth is right now, is how much you're gonna have to do to go away if you're split. And then is he even really ready for the streets?
Right.
Is he even really ready for the streets?
He's not.
He may have to hold up, Dale. He may have to consult Chris Rock. Because Chris Rock was married for like 30 years and then was like, yo, I don't want to do this no more. He cheated and he had to bounce. So Will Smith may have to consult Chris Rock like, hey, man, how do you enter the game in your 50s? Because I don't even know how to do this, sir. Right. Go ahead.
He may not have a problem with it because, I mean, he is Will Smith at the end. And I mean, it's not like he's not like he fell off at 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like he ain't fall off like a step.
Time out, Dale. Time out. You know, as a handsome, young, in shape brother like yourself, you've been single and returned back to the streets. And regardless of the way that you look, regardless of what your closet like, it's still an adjustment period, right?
No, it's still an adjustment period. I'm agreeing with that point, but I'm saying like it may come easier for him than would come for most. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's publicly known that he's single out there. So now it goes like, oh, he's single. So you get motherfuckers throwing it at you. Compared to like, you gotta like tell.
That's trouble.
I know. But I'm saying it is trouble. But what I'm saying is it's a lot easier compared to like when you coming out there freshly single and it's like, well, I don't even want to tell people I'm single because like I don't want to like I got friends who still like expect us to be together. Like, and like I gotta like you gotta go through this whole situation of like, so how's woo woo? Oh well, yeah, we ain't together. Y'all not together. Like, oh, that's crazy. I really liked her. I loved her. Oh yeah, me too, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like,
what you do to her?
What you do? Exactly. Like, man, I didn't do shit, nigga. She was fucking 2 niggas when I came home, like getting dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was
what you do to make her fuck 2 niggas?
Man, I was just working. Niggas,
I had 2 jobs.
Yeah, like, well, both my managers. Like, but no, but like, I think that I think that like no matter the fact that she's been saying this for so long and he's been hearing these particular quotes, we don't know how it is dealt in the home. Like we can speculate, right? Because I will say this: I've been in a relationship where shit that you be saying is like you because of the public eye, you don't want to like let that shit be out. So you might throw little small jabs, but it's not like it's settled shit, like it's passive aggressive shit, like where it might like where he's like, yeah, would be like, how can I be like Pac? But in reality, like, that's what you want. You want me to be like Pac. Like, and that's the problem. Like, oh, that's what you want. You want this shit, right? Like, at home, he kind of trying to, you know what I'm saying? But in a public eye, he like, man, she just be trying to ask me to be like Pac. And I mean, like, he's just such a cool guy. Because I can't let the moment that Will says anything negative about Tupac, because Tupac is no longer here to defend himself, he immediately becomes the bad guy. So no matter what he has to do, he has to always say, Pac is so cool. He has to say it. Pac could fuck his wife. You got to be like, man, that was just past things. I mean, I'm just so happy. I'm just so sad that that young man lost his life. Like, he got to say that shit. Because at the end of the day, the public will basically abuse him. They will drag him down the mud for saying anything derogatory about Tupac. So you have to ride that shit out. So anytime he's in a public eye, like, I always wanted to be like Pac. I just thought he was so great. I thought he was this. When in reality, the nigga helped him out. Like, man, fuck that nigga. Bald-headed motherfucker, nose ring wearing ass nigga. Like, nigga, I can't believe this shit. Nigga, like, I'm sure he'd be mad, bro. Yeah, he probably be like, nigga, good job, KPD. He probably was celebrating when they called KPD. He probably was like, yes, they got that nigga.
I think he was mad when they caught KPD.
When they caught him, like, man, he should have had more.
Because now Pac is back in the news.
Yeah, and it's like, Pac back in the news. And that's what I was going to say. How strategic Jada is. Like, Pac's back in the news. We're closing.
She ain't know that.
She closing his death. Now you walking around here like, yeah, and I just love Pac. Like, we don't need, come on, bro.
Yo, the book come out on the 17th, bro.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Like, you gonna bring out that one, like, we already knew you was gonna say that. You don't gotta enhance that. Like, you could talk more, like, if it was strictly about your memoirs and what's going on in your life, like, currently right now, more people would want to hear about. I felt like if this Pac news didn't ever erupt, all she would have been talking about in the book, she would have like skimmed over that shit. She would have talked more about what was going on and how she thought the skit, or how she thought the slap was a skit. She would have talked about more about Chris asking her on a date. She would have talked about them being separated for 7 years, but she would have not mentioned Tupac was my soulmate. That would like that's in the book. But they wouldn't even talk about that. But Tupac being back in the news, and that was like, because look, and I'm telling you right now, this is all about algorithm, right? Like, so if you now look up Tupac and then Tupac come up and you go, oh, Tupac's killer was caught. Jada said, confessed her undying love for Tupac, said they were two. Like, now you got those two headlines. Like, that's how it's smart. So motherfuckers is like, oh, I didn't even know that. Crazy. Like, so any random nigga.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Now I gotta buy the book. Now you
gotta buy the book.
Now you gotta buy the book. Now you're a bestseller. Now you New York Times bestseller. That's how you do it,
man. All right. Well. So let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
So you think so? When it comes down to the question, when I ask you, is she bored and disrespectful, or is she scorned? You don't feel like it's boredom. You just feel
I know she's not scorned. I know that. If anything, she the one doing the scorning. She the one's hurting.
You don't think it's top secret?
I'm gonna tell you right now. If they divorce, Will shouldn't even fuck with nobody else. Because whoever go to get in that relationship, they gonna get fucked. Even at 50, he coming out, bruh, I can't love these hoes. He on this Chris Brown. These hoes ain't loyal. Like, that's how he gonna be, bro. Like, he gonna be on his shit. Like, he ain't about that, bruh. He gonna be on his Kanye shit, just having baddies just floating around looking like his wife. Like, for some reason, like,
I don't know if anybody wanted. Kanye is married again, bro.
He is married. I know, but I'm saying, like, it took him. I mean, he don't even look happy. Ever since Kanye and Amber Rose ain't been together, Kanye has not been happy, bro.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying if that happens, Will is not. If that happens, Will is about to be trouble. But he about to be a fuckboy again. He might come out with music. I'm gonna be real with you. He might be talking about Get Jiggy with It Part 2. Niggas like, you know what I'm saying? Wild West.
I think you know what would be dope? What would be dope is if they make a real movie about how they make a remake of Old Dogs, right? They got a Disney movie with Tim Allen and Martin. They old niggas on a motorcycle. They remake Old Dogs
and add him.
But they have Will Smith, they have Shaq, they have Chris Rock and Anthony Anderson. And then niggas just run them up.
Riding around. But you need a white guy. You need one white guy.
Who's a divorced white guy that could be in there running amok?
No.
Oh, what you call it? Is he divorced? Did Gary Owen divorce his black wife?
I don't think, did he? Not Gary Owen. Gary Owen. That's crazy. Because Gary Owen seemed like he was the most happiest nigga to have a black wife ever in his life.
That's how all white dudes gotta be when they got a black wife. They gotta overcompensate, right? Isn't that how that works?
But I was gonna say Robin Thicke.
Nah, he's too unhappy.
But that's why. And the thing about it is because Robin Thicke, right? He got the look, but then he just come in always sad, like life's so hard.
He always look okay. Yeah, so Gary Owen split from Kenya Duke.
Dang.
Yeah. So Gary, why are you so upset about this?
Because they had kids, man. That's
just because you're in an interracial relationship with a beautiful mixed baby, I mean you gotta root for everybody that's in a mixed relationship. You don't gotta root.
I like Gary Owen. That's why.
Man. So you're right. Gary Owen, Chris Rock, so two comedians. Gary Owen, Chris Rock, Shaq, and Will Smith. Old Dogs. I don't know what the plot is, but they get an RV, they go on a road trip, and they start beefing and arguing. Oh, it'd be like Get on the Bus, but for divorced niggas.
With divorced niggas, get on the bus, get in the RV. That's what they call it, get in the RV.
Yo, I think this is a great movie idea. It's solid. But you have to have other people act like him. Oh, would it be like this? It'd be like the one night in Miami.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect.
It'd be like one night in Miami.
One night in Vegas. Just one. Yeah, one night in Vegas.
Like a great idea. So yeah, man, that's where we at, bro. Me personally, if I had to choose, so you say she's not scoring. I think you're right. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna go with scoring either, because just based on the way how hard she moving, I'm gonna just say bored and disrespectful. Yeah. I'm gonna just say bored, disrespectful, unethical, and deceitful.
Hurt people, bro. She hurt. She done got hurt, bro. Like, I mean, because I think even to the point like her selling drugs, that would have been more of a headliner if Pac's story wasn't even alive either, too.
Nah, because even for you, like the way you said, because the algorithm of what we like and what like the toxicity we like, her selling drugs or whatnot and chasing someone down the alley with a switchblade, it's not impressive to us because she already got money now. Yeah. So because she's in like a is that 9 figures? Because she's in like a 9-figure marriage. Like, oh, you sold it, who cares? Like, yo, the way we see it, you being rich. It's not, it's almost like Jay-Z. Jay-Z can't rap about selling drugs no more, really. He got on God did a 5-minute verse, but that's on God did. He can't drop a whole album like that. No more, you too rich for us to be impressed. So to your point, we so into the toxicity, we not into her hustle. Yeah. We into hearing about Pac and bashing Wilmore and Chris Rock apologizing and just the toxicness of it. She could have been like, Dell, on everything, bro. We so toxic in the game. She could have been like, yeah, I used to be the president of Scientology. Nobody would give a damn.
Nobody would care.
Nobody would care. I was really back there with Hubbard writing the books. And actually, like, I used to make love to aliens back in the day. It's like, we don't care. Nobody would care.
Yeah. So was the alien Pac? Like, that's it. Like, that alien probably looked like Tupac. West side of the universe, cuz.
Universal love. That's stupid. Out on Bill for outer space. Listen, that's enough. Hey,
picture me flying.
Ridiculous. Listen, man, shut up black words with these people so we can know out here.
Hey, man. Out here. My black words are from Mary Ellen Pleasant, a pioneer entrepreneur. Mary Ellen Pleasant collaborated on the Underground Railroad. She used her economic success to fund the abomination movement, including the activism of John Brown. This quote comes from Ebony Magazine, April 1979, The Mystery of Mary Ellen Pleasant. And her words were, "I'd rather be a corpse than a coward." Yeah, fire. I think that just intertwines really, really well with all topics today. Because a lot of times it's like, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do, like, if you heard the first episode, maybe you might commit fraud because you don't care. You'd rather be in prison so that the way you can live out your full potential of being what you always wanted to be, a full-on criminal. Or maybe you just really want to be, maybe you just want to be out here and wearing red high heels, walking miles in red high heels to show that you stand up for women's rights and making sure that you're bringing awareness to domestic violence. Or maybe you stole 10 toes down, you will ruin your perfectly good relationships just to let people know about your past relationship for a nigga who ain't even alive no more. So you'd rather be a corpse than a coward.
That's real talk. You can be a police and borrow and just borrow enough money to get yourself out of the red.
Not paying that back.
Quote unquote, you can commandeer enough money to get yourself out of the red, or you can be a police officer walking around in hills that's red, or you can embarrass your man constantly at the red table. All these options are up to you. And that's what I do. All these options are up to you. You choose. With that, I'm gonna drop law number 10 on y'all, and I'm not even going to explain it. You tie it in the way that you want to tie it in. Law number 10, infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. People who are perpetually miserable spread misery like an infection, and they'll drown you in it. Avoid these people like the plague. Conversely, if you associate with happy people, you'll share in the good fortune they attract.
Prayers up. That's dope.
Y'all could be anywhere in the world right now, but y'all here with us, and we appreciate that. Drink water and pay attention.
Hey, man, right now you made it this far, so be sure to smash that subscribe button. Make sure you like that. Make sure you tap on that like button and comment. Let us know your thoughts and your opinions. We love to hear your feedback. But just know, we here at the Dale and Ryan Report really, 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 really fuck with you. Peace.